Hi, my name is Samantha Walker, and I'm in the EEC 321 Early Childhood Development class, and this is my discussion for life before birth in the uterus. The three things that I learned one was sperm, which is considered the smallest cell in the human body, uses its sense of smell to find its way to the egg. So I know I learned thinking that it just swam. I didn't know it had like the instincts of an actual human would, like the scents and like the smells and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool and something just like I didn't know. And then also, I learned that after day one of fertilization, the egg begins to make its first division. So it doesn't just like wait a week like you hear in like sex ed class or whatever. It like starts as soon as it happens, pretty much. It says it could take up to 10 hours, but it's still the same day. And I also learned that the heart, when it starts to form, which is around week 3, is what it said, that it's the size of a poppy seed. And not only does the heart begin to form, but so does the brain. And how the heart begins to form is that one of the cells, like one cell turns into a big group of little cells, and they all like get on a rhythm, which is that's how the beat of your heart was created, and that's how like they connect and like become the heart. And it said that some pregnant women realizes that there's a hormonal change in them and some don't realize, and that's like when that hormone change happens, it's when the heart is being developed. um, the brain and the heart are one of the first few organs to be developed from the child, and leading from like the brain and the heart and your nerve system, the placenta is considered like the nerve center of a pregnancy. So I thought that was something not usual or not what I'm used like I've never heard that, so I thought that was pretty cool. um I also put few extra things that like I learned that I didn't know was like usually the first scan is what helps a mother and a doctor come up with a more accurate due date for the child, other than just guessing from the last menstrual cycle that the mother has had. And nowadays, like with technology, the 4D scans are only getting greater and greater and give you more information about the child, that they rate that these 4D like ultrasound scans are equally like or equivalent to the Hubble bubble, or not that, the Hubble Space Telescope, and shows a child growing without even having to open the mother up. I put also the scans show how the child grows, behaves, and develops different skills. This could even show how the child may be able to work outside the womb. And like the last thing that I learned that I didn't know, I know we were only supposed to name 3, but here's just a few more, is that like bonding with the child before birth is very important because it can affect the bond between the baby and the mother after birth and like growing up throughout like their whole life. 2 things that I want to discuss that I found like was a wow moment for me was from the beginning of fertilization features not only the child's look but the child's character, like the child's stubbornness and intelligence and the child's vulnerability to like certain diseases, cancers, diabetes, and even schizophrenic. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like that's from the very beginning the child is being developed, that stuff is being determined, not just like their eyes and their hair, like the genes, like it's other features that we or I wouldn't have thought about. Another thing that I thought was like I didn't realize, and I thought it was like something cool that I should share in this, was the placenta can get rid of filters. Well, it can get rid of things like it can filter out harmful diseases such as herpes, hepatitis, and polio disease that like is in the mother's blood, and like avoid the child completely and protect the child from it. But alcohol and nicotine works differently, and it can easily go straight through to the child and begin to harm the child, when the placenta helps other diseases, but it really can't help alcohol and nicotine that easily. So I thought that was pretty something to think about. Pretty neat how it works like that. And my question from the documentary was, at the beginning of the documentary, it asked the question, or like from the child's point of view, is that when the child's life begins, when the cognitive development begins. So in the documentary, it states on day 15 that the cognitive development, where the brain starts developing and the nerve systems connect, is on day 15. That the child was like in fertilization. So my question is, is that when the life of a child actually begins? And when is a child considered a human? And like, when is the egg considered a human? Just like one of those questions, it makes you want to know, like, do you believe on day 15 is that when a child is created and is considered a human being? So thank you for joining my discussion, and y'all have a good one.